This this is part two of what I was saying. Part two, because the video is the stream ends. I didn't end the stream, but the stream ends. So the third ones are this kind of people. That is a mouthpiece of Abiy Ahmed Naam Zalek are supporting a very delusional, self-righteous, pompous Abiy who have a sinister way of pushing the agenda of Oromoma superiority within the country, making it look like he opposed ethnocentric Oromo elite when the conflict between them is merely a power struggle, not a difference in ideology or forming the future Cushitic Oromo state, which is not going to happen. Which is going to happen. And if it happens, it will end up in blood and migration, like Eritreans. That's going to happen. It's not going to Singapore. Oromoma is not going to be Singapore. Fuck you. Not at least by the blood of Amhara people. There's no fucking Singapore Oromoma. Fuck yourself. That's what the story is. So, futuristic Cushitic Oromo state weakening the north. I am disgusted by European media because they silence us, the people who know the value of a country that embraces all, as it did in the past in thick and thin, all the way from the harshest times of a scramble for Africa to its demographic debris that incubated ethnocentric degenerates who support secession at the same time, who have the audacity to say that's not what we want in just one interview. Like he said, you see this dude? He say, okay, the journalist asked him, so is that what you want? He say, secession, because you claim the constitution give the right. Now, I don't know the constitution. I know I study law in America, so it's not these people should not be demonized for having a secession agenda and they're walking around with big guns slaughtering civilians. He say, no, I don't want that. If you don't want secession, then what? You see, always their story is contradiction. You see, because their political aim is not even clear for themselves, and they want to impose it on other people by demonizing. They want unity. If you are a fucking ethnocentric Oromo, you are a fucking Oromo nationalist. You know what it means? You are a despicable person who preach a small nationalism of only what he call his kind of people who speak a certain language, but not other. After disintegrating a well-formed and already old nation that's known by every people in the world, and you think that's gonna work without a consequence of civil war and a long-lasting generation to generation civil war and regional conflict. So you are a PhD, you are a doctor. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you sons of bitches are. This is what it is. So, so that's who you are. You people are naturally the people who know the value of a country. That is me, and people who may think like me. This is what I think. It's complimenting myself, but that's what it is because I believe in unifying things than to be a single monolithic nationalist. It's better to be a nationalist for all, to build as a house for all. So the people who know the value of a country that embraces all as it did in the past, in thick and thin, all the way from the harshest times of a scramble for Africa to its demographic debris that incubated ethnocentric degenerates who support secession at the same time, who have the audacity to say that's not what we want in just one interview, like this idiot. Their entire socio-political view is contradiction, like what? Like the divine rules in scripture. Confusion. Like the one fact that I saw in that fucking The Devil Advocate movie. Like God said the rules in contradiction kind of story, which is imprinted in my brain. When they tell you this, you ask them this, they tell you something stupid shit to govern people. Stupid motherfuckers who make people's life miserable in a short lifespan that we have, that we don't be free. Shame on you, shame on you. When Ethiopia is gone, you will cry and you will weep. I hope the genocidal blue book you call constitution that's in place in Ethiopia by OLF, senior members, TPLF, and even ELF, Eritrea Liberation Front, which is now Isaias Afwerki, who admitted and he say, "I'm sorry, but I never supported ethnocentric divisive shit in Ethiopia to be applied." But Meles Zenawi say, "No, this is the way to do it." Because only when he do it, he will be on power, on top, because he already get in the gun and control power, and he created oligarchs, blood-sucking oligarchs, who just sell a metal to the national bank and take gold, who just loot the country dry for 30 fucking years, even using the Renaissance Dome as an excuse and looting it and making it almost a failed project. These fucking devil idiots that you're supporting, the CNN, the Al Jazeera. These are the people you have. The last resort, the last people you have is this new generation you incubated. These people, because they're not really scientists and researchers, they only have diploma and they can speak English. They don't know they themselves how they are created, how they become to be ever since they are children. From these ethnocentric, blood-sucking TPLF senior members is the fact that they are the debris of the colonial era. That's what they don't understand, because they don't really understand politics and the sinister works of globalist people and colonizers in its entirety. They don't understand in its entirety. They understand books, definitions, terms. That's why they know. That's why we tell them Ethiopia don't deserve people who don't have wisdom, but maybe diploma. Even diploma without real competition and taking school living certificate exams. No. Lama Magarsa, where you go to university? Civil service college. Abiy Ahmed, where you learn? In England, after you become a cadre. After they can decide who go where. Do you believe Ethiopia deserve this? No. The Ethiopia I know, there is a school living certificate exam. There is competition. There is serious representation. That is the time they demonize, because they will not understand, because they are too fucking dumb. But now, if you go to America, only them are in higher places. But they didn't change. There is a Harvard University professor, Chalamamo, who's lecturing in Harvard University, and he have his own personal window. He come out and say, "Kill Amharas, kill these people." Imagine in any conflict in Middle East, there are a lot of intellectuals from different places, Pakistanis, Indians in England, different people in Western Hemisphere. None of them come out. At least they become articulate and talk some kind of politics or what their conviction or what they believe. He literally come out and say, imagine a person who lecture in a higher institution, people who gonna be in higher places. When you are a university lecturer, not only you, even people you teach are supposed to be a middle class kind of family, who gonna work in higher places kind of people you teaching. He come out and say, kill Amara people. What do Harvard? What is this? In my university, there is veritas. Veritas means veritas. In my country, such kind of a guy, when there are no real teachers, he may give a lecture in an elementary school. What kind of subject? Sport, maybe. Maybe music, just to let children sing. He come out and say, in this university, I get my doctor, I work very hard. Veritas means in Harvard University, Veritas. Kill Amara people, but anti-Garmalachu, Oroma people, he will kill you all. If this is a local story, nobody would believe, because Europeans don't care. But now, that's what they got in the house. How many of you heard what Harvard is? Harvard is a place where Professor Cornel West cried that he was not tenured. cried. Literally, imagine an intellectual, a very recognized intellectual, that Hollywood make a movie on his ass, come out and say they didn't tenor me. I was really surprised. Why would he give a fuck about these stupid people when he's a full-fledged intellectual who have integrity? Imagine this guy is a lecturer there. Imagine. You see? How many people heard Columbia University, Harvard, what it is? Me, myself, I think it's a big place. Very extremely intelligent people. Very complicated kind of individuals are there. That's what the propaganda of America is. This is Chalamamo. He finished lecturing, he come out. I don't know what he lectured them, I don't know. He come out, he open his window, and he tell you, you are nothing for us, Amara. We will kill you. We will make sure we will kill you one by one. I never saw, I have seen a lot of conflict in the world, and I have seen a lot of intellectuals, Palestinians, the most horrendous kind of anger they have. I have seen a lot of people how articulate they are and how far they go in what they want to tell. I never seen such kind of story in my life. And only in Ethiopia, there is amazing stories, amazing kind of people, amazing kind of narrative. People who don't shame. And this bitch come out and she say, how could you talk with people like that? Why? Because this mouthpiece, this idiot, is representing Ethiopian stories. Because now he is lobbied by Abiy Ahmed. You see? Imagine how we are targeted. Even for Ethiopianism that we are, these are the people who come out on behalf of some kind of righteous, pompous idiot like Abiy Ahmed, who come to his support. He don't say anything else because he really thinks he's the savior of the country. So a girl will come and disrespect him, and you see, and this is by design. Because whenever there is a defense of any kind, it is Naam Zallaka who come out and say, I don't oppose this guy, but I hate the fact that he is a mouthpiece of Naam Zallaka. And he's not really respected by all kind of people, including the Amharas really hate people, this guy, because his ethno Ethiopian nationalism blah blah story are making some kind of group people, especially mainly the Amharas, victims. Because while he's pimping Abiy Ahmed politics, the Oromuma politics, in a coveted manner, they want to suppress the fact that Amharas being slaughtered. So Amharas, it's like the Western media is talking about Tigrayan genocide story, overblown story kind of thing. I am not saying it's not happening because I didn't know what's going on there. I know there is war, there is conflict, so this can happen. So this is something, a criminal case of people who will be responsible for that. I'm not saying that. But look the media coverage. The media coverage is a guy, a mouthpiece supporting Abiy Ahmed agenda of a certain guy who just showed up 3 years ago, and people who are governing the country for 30 years, uh, playing card by the victimization of Tigrayan people, making enemy in both sides. Amhara is our enemy, Eritrea is an enemy. We are Tigrayans. Okay, you want independence or you want continuous war with Eritrea and with Amhara people? You are a problem by yourself. Even you don't have to talk. You are a problem because you are telling Amharas are enemies, Tigrayans are enemies. You are not even articulate enough, to have some kind of solution. No, you say the mortal enemy, a foreign enemy. You make Eritreans mortal foreign enemy for Ethiopians. You make them because you come for the rescue of your own ass to be on power and to rescue them to be independent. And that part should be not spoken no more by most ethnocentric Tigrayans. Why? Because then they have nothing to say. But in truth, it shows that these people don't know how politics and demography works. Because you cannot detach Abiy Ahmed from the 1983 situation of the end of Cold War. You cannot see these things separately. This is not a different issue. This is politics, and demography is a continuation of events. You cannot pick events whenever you want them as it fits for you. Then you don't know politics or you are an imbecile. You know, you cannot do that. No matter what happened to Tigray people, if there is one Tigray guy that survived in this war or any conflict, or in the long run they will have economical disadvantages and having difficulties for Tigrayan people. It has nothing to do with you people claiming we come from there. No, I'm talking about the people. You are the people who did that to Tigrayan people. You don't understand? That's the irony. When you think you are smart people, that is the irony. Because among all people in the world, the only people you should concern and you should be predictive and you should calculate, not rely upon the lobby and the attention you get from the West now. No, that is a funny shit. Don't believe the hype. That hype will change. You see, time will change every hype. Believe me. Believe me. You see the foreign policy of the Western countries. That's not it. If there was, if your story is not a political aim, the only people who should be concerned about the safety of Tigrayan people, in the interest of Tigrayan people in the future, that they will have upran, they will have a negotiation ability. It don't matter the place is dried up, fucked up place. Especially the place is fucked up. It's a hell. It is you people. Not even Amara people, me like to advise you, no. It was you who supposed to think that you were the people who should make peace with Eritreans, because you speak at least Tigrinya. You speak like them. You speak Tigrinya people. In Eritrea, Tigrinya and Arabic is a national language. You speak Tigrinya. You hate Amarinya even. A national language of your country, you wanted to get dismantled together with Oromo ethnocentric people. Now you merge together. Before you are enemies and you are taken up power by them, mainly by them, not even by the Amhara. But now the only enemy you make is Amhara people. And how do you think Amhara elite or people will talk with you sons of bitches? They don't. Because they couldn't understand how much you hate them without a reason. How much hate. You Baltimore idiot Tigrayans. How much hate you have to these Amhara people. What the fuck they did to you? Except you did to them. You created even a fucking land dispute like you created in Eritrea. How could it be possible? One in a sudden, in 1983, when you come to power, a new state called Eritrea emerges, and then there is a land dispute between you and Eritrea because of Badme, and Ethiopians die, and you don't even regret. When you curse Ethiopians are these monsters, you forget that 100,000 people die in 1999 who come to your rescue because they were emotional that they think Tigray is a part of you. You forget that. When you're taken out from power, you forget that one. The Western media is reluctant to talk about that because you think separate events in politics. No, this is not gambling. One session of gambling is end and another new. It's not poker. This is a real political demographical story which you are a part of. And because your Malaz monkey head, which Susan Rice called a world class mind, when she knows a monkey mind like her, they didn't see the long term interest. The West only want to take out Eritrea, Isaias Afwerki. That's why they use you as a playing card. Because you are determined for destruction, they know you have that kind of past. They use you to take this man down, and it fails, and they're very angry. That's why now the West come to your rescue, and they are waving this fucking flag. But when that is over, Isaias Afwerki is taken down. I tell you the most perfect kind of futuristic thing. I'll tell you. They don't give a fuck about you or your Tigray story. Believe me, the West will always align with the winners. You have to understand that. They make you a winner or a loser, they may support you. And that support come only if it's their interest. Or if they hate someone, whatever what it takes, they will take them down. That's why you coming out and talking shit now with Riot Media, he talk, that talk, that's why. But by the end of the day, they will abandon you. That's why now was the time for you to have a good relation with these Eritrean people, have a good foundation, a solid foundation of friendship with them, and then you go and you make a youth movement that make Amhara youth and Tigrayan youth to bond, not looking at the elite of today who are governing, not the Naamans, not the Aganyo Tashagar, no, not these people. You create a bond to unify the country, not a bond of your issue, your separate agenda. You know, when you do that, you come again in the same unifying story which you are against. That's why you don't do it. Because Naaman Zallaka is not a representative of nobody. You say, who the fuck is going to talk with Naaman Zallaka? Who the fuck is Naaman Zallaka? Naaman Zallaka don't represent Amara people. He represents Gumbo Sabat, a very corrupt shit-ass group who was in Eritrea who abandoned Amara people. Amara people hate this motherfucker. Especially the youth movement hate this motherfucker. So all of you don't represent Ethiopia, but all of you who don't represent Ethiopia are on media. The rest of us are silenced. I've never seen in Western media, in Al Jazeera or whatever, some guy who have a unit, what do you call, some kind of neutral kind of person who tell you what happened in chronological order. This happened. These people are these people. These people are sympathizers of this kind of ideology. These people are in power. These people are lobbyists. These people are mouthpiece of this powerful guy. Nobody tell you like that. They tell you a vague narration of their own. All of them, these are these people. Three, I divide them in three. And this is all truth. This is not some kind of propaganda. This is the truth. It's the truth. You expect power, you expect influence, using people as hostages. When that fails, you become monsters. And it hurts that a country should be represented, a country's story should be told by this kind of degenerates in the most influential medias of the world, Western media. That's why when I see Western kind of institution, to me, I spit on them. Because they know what is going on, but they do it on purpose. You know, today, Ethiopian problem, they know it's not about Amara militia and Tigray problem. The country in general have problems. And the people who have problems have flag, have ideology. They have videos, recording, slaughtering people. Why you don't talk about that? Why you make it some kind of abstract kind of thing? When everything is in front of your fucking face. You see, it is in front of your face. The people who are rebels, who are weaponed, who are shooting people, what kind of language they speak, what kind of town they burn. You have this vague kind of humanitarian crisis in Tigray generalized story. Not even a fucking Amnesty International senior guy, because he's gonna be responsible for what he say, for their own sake, for their own international institution reputation. They come out and say, in Tigray, in this area is done, this happened by these people, no satellite, I wish satellite uniform, no, this vague story. They don't say that. No, they go ask members, active members of one side of the conflict themselves. They ask them of a government mouthpiece or a mouthpiece of TPLF. They ask on Western media, and they think Ethiopian story is told. Ethiopian people have a more painful story than that. When this fucking Oromo elite, divided for their power struggle, and they're talking shit, if you go to Oromo people and ask civilians, they will tell you. Even after they divide them and put them, okay, you are now OLF, kind of use, they create emotional use, who say fuck the other people, the greater Oromoma they created. And there are mature people who had it, all of them, they hate all of them. Neither they love Abiy, neither they like this Oromoma or Onok Shene, OLF, David Ifsa, they hate them. They had enough. They want peace. This is the part, if you really love your country, this is the part that you want to revive. People who hate all this elite and this thing, what is going on for this fucking 50 years, these blood-sucking animals who make all people target because of their delusional story and the things that they think they know from American university book stories. They really think European and Americans are some kind of stupid, retarded college professor story. No, man. It's just a system laid out, to fill institutions with people. Time is changing. Time is changing. People are coming out from universities now. Yeah, you don't see stupid people. So, what you sense of bitches, when people tell you don't have wisdom, they are talking about complicated things. That's why when we use wisdom, what do you understand by wisdom? What is wise people? Some stupid biblical story of Solomon, blah blah bullshit? No, not such a retarded scripture story we're talking about. Wisdom is to understand that things are complicated and to handle them in a very calm manner. To advantage all, he needs a wise guy to be a leader. Not when a real educated person confronts you, okay, now we have to push any people we get and send them to university, let them graduate anyway, this university, that university, send them, no, not that. That's a fake shit. They will read something anyway and they will say some articulate thing anyway. No, that's not how you have to be honest, because people are measured by the results they bring. The result of TPLF is this. The debris of who you are is this, and you don't even want to admit that is the case. You think Abiy Ahmed killed Tigran people? No, Abiy Ahmed, Tigran people are killed in 1983 already. When that constitution is written, if you really understand the workings of demography and how to manage social structures and political stories is fucking complicated. Tigran people are killed in 1983. When you wrote that constitution, they are already killed. The worst thing happened to them because they actually live in the most dry place. That's why even the Western people consider Amharas are aggressors when they know they changed demography in 1983 and they created a lot of atrocities in these disputed areas because they have the anger. The Western people, not because, especially the majority of common people, they have the anger. Why in humanity have that kind of social problem, basic thing like food, and people start from. That's why they have a song and all that time. They did that because they have that kind of anger and the anger of the Cold War. Because Mengistu Haile Mariam was a dirty communist, an idiot, he was. Americans in the West have anger that even Ethiopia takes side in this socialist communist kind of shit. Because prior to that, America was an ally of Ethiopia. You see? So what happened? What happened was they want to always ignore Amhara kind of story when it comes to these disputed lands because they say, okay, instead of making a long-term, food aid, blah, blah, we do that thing because they also support this food aid to dumb down societies. There's sinister work in it. We know all that, but still they take this kind of disputed land from Amhara and they created new demography and they created regional states. And that's not hidden from the West because they know in 1983 there is a new demography. The constitution is a blueprint for that demography making. So when that thing is reversed, why it becomes an agony, as if some people are monsters, naturally monsters, and they claim a land. No, it is a land that is reclaimed. Okay. And now still, let's say it's not fair. But even when we say it's not fair, we have to come not in investors and lobbyists, globalized business people point of view, or people who have money in urban places, who have their eyes on these fertile lands. No, for the betterment of all people, Tigrayan people and Amhara people who already claim 30 years were victims of this fucking powerful machinery, which was supported by the TPLF. No, no, you are very, you are rigid. You think TPLF gonna revive again? How? From now, or either you choose civil war, or either you devise a mechanism, if you are smart people, to to take use from Amhara region and Tigray region and show them what kind of balance and devouring kind of thing they are doing, especially the Oromo. Not to fight Oromo people, but to stop this, to let you know go. But if you are expecting, okay, now we play a political game like, okay, we become now Oromo elite and Tigray elite as a new group, like TPLF and ELF were. Okay, and then we fight 30 years again. We take down Abiy Ahmed and we destroy Amhara once and for all, like these American senior idiots. If you think like that, it's not gonna happen. The world that shout for Tigray now will shout for Amhara someday. There's always who shout on behalf of victims and people who get slaughtered. This should be a lesson to you. There is one thing: unity and commonality is something that you leave alone. You play against it, you don't have chance. Except that to survive, you don't have chance, people. The only thing why you don't want unity is the people before you, the people who dominize. They are that, and your political rhetoric was against that. So you are ashamed that your way of doing is wrong, or you will have balkanized states of your own, and you'll be in constant conflict in every fucking village, or you wanted the old unified country as it is, and it's up to you to 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 further your agenda, like my language has to be this, my dance should be 24/7 on TV. It's you what to do. You have money, you have interest, and there are people who like what you are, you know that's it. Even social media don't tell you. You upload a music, for example, Amhara Skista. International people or other ethnic group look at you. If they like you, they touch, I like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. This is such a simple thing, is about language and shit. It's not a big deal. Only the British capitalize English language because they make it an international language of the world and follow other languages. Not African language. There is no African language. The entire Western Africa speak French. What are you talking about? Swahili is spoken in 5 countries. But when they do, it's not with intention, okay, let's kill a competitive language. That's not how they do. How could you kill a written language in your own country and you write with Latin and you think you are a big guy? Stupid idiot. You people should disappear from a political scene. You are not smart people. You're not fucking smart people. You're stupid people. The biggest, what I think, maybe that is controversial. And it's not a well-thought thing. It just come in my mind, but I don't think Eritreans really advantage because their second language become Arabic. I don't think so. I think that works for their demise. There is a positive thing to it that you cannot infiltrate and be part of a game because you speak a certain language. If you don't have the ability to play the political game, if you don't have the social ground, because if Eritreans are in Arabian countries, they'll be treated like shit, like any other people from third world country. The language don't help you nothing, except language helps to communicate if it's not that advantage. But But as a nation, you have to see your surrounding and what you are capable of when you when you take some kind of language or some kind of elements in your language. You have to understand the long-term effect. You have to understand. Look, short-sighted David Ibsa kind of person, he see Latin language, written language, just to take down the Amhara elite and Amhara people from the political scene of Ethiopia and make them minorities and orphans. That's what he think he's successful. But what he don't know, in the long run, in the long term, you also destroy some African language that tells a telltale story of historical happenings, realities in the world. You become part of making that thing history, so that you bring a threat to yourself. Because today you are happy, all Oromo people write in Latin, but tomorrow your generation will regret and they don't even know you exist. Such kind of idiot person was a senior guy they call Abu or Abubu. They don't know what he done to them. But after 200 years, if there is no written language like Tigrinya, Amarinya in Ethiopia, and that thing become history, there will be a very confusing, different books will come out. A lot of fake historians will write a lot of things, like Andargacho Tsege become a historian. Such kind of jokes will pop out, confusing people. At Denagar, Tadenabar, blah blah, kind of books will be written. And then you don't even have some people to blame. And what kind of identity crisis will be in, you don't understand, because you come far from situations. Even the social media won't keep the secret. Okay, maybe today everything is recorded in 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 a very graphic form in media and in stories, but it's not like past. You tell some legendary story, but still, you know, you will have problem where we go wrong, kind of thing, or a shame. You'll be shamed if that is recorded and really that will be transferred without conviction because of media and things. You'll be in a shame. Why would we do that? What kind of ambition we had? You're gonna say if you have brain. That's what I think. Because you don't have to do anything to teach people or to tell people that you like. You know, the world love Michael Jackson not because of some political. Just people love what they see. If they love it, they say we love it. If they don't say love it, they don't. We don't love it. If I want to speak in Oromia, I will speak. What kind of thing make me speak Oromia? If I fall in love with one girl, if I love Oromo people and their character, or if I think their language is sexy, different reasons. I mean, different kind of reasons make some people love some kind of thing. And that is a natural thing. It's not Bakala Garba now you are crying as if he's a smart political leader, a retard, a big head retard who come out and say, don't make trade with these people if they don't speak Oromia. What do you mean? What do you mean? Chinese don't force you to speak Chinese to trade with you. What they want is their money. Americans don't force you to speak English. What they want is their money. They want people who are educated or who are money makers to come in their country. People with a skill. They don't tell you speak this, speak that. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit. Chinese can come out without saying one word, but they can open big restaurants, big shops. Money talks. It's your ability, not what you can do. In China, there are a lot of investors, including Oromo people, who trade. They are not supposed. It is to their advantage, to their will. They say, "Oh, we have to speak Chinese to make our job easier." Then we have the ability to communicate with people easily, not because a politician come and force them. And force who? Force the people that he want to advantage. Don't talk to them. Who cares? He don't know what is trade. He don't know money circulation. He don't. Then that tell you how could these people are professors in universities? How is that possible? You speak a language for your advantage. You speak other languages for your advantage. First of all, you don't even have attention for your language to be spoken necessarily. Me, I don't give a fuck if you speak Amarinya or not. But I say Amharic language as a language is a written language. In Africa, it's only Tigrinya and Amharic that have written language. How dare you destroy this? This is crazy. I don't give a fuck personally if you speak or if you don't. But if we have a language that let us communicate, all of us, it will be easier for us to communicate. Through that, if anybody benefit, it is I can do nothing. I don't care if Amara benefit, Oromo benefit. What difference does it make to you? Some Oromo guy benefit and other guy don't benefit. What is the notion itself to say I stand specifically for these people? If it's not for justice, when I say Amhara, it is because of justice question. You cannot just burn towns and kill people. Yeah, it don't matter if it's in Tigray, it don't matter in Oromia, it don't matter where. When you want, when you make it a political move to destroy a written language, yeah, this is weird. You know. So I invite you last time Cherokee people, that old American song, "So proud to live, so proud to die." You know, they teach English to our young. You are teaching Latin to your young people, literally, because the slang is maybe Oromia, but you are writing it in Latin, putting double A, double E, blah blah bullshit. What are you? You are creating a modern state that have a different color, European color. Why? Why you think this is a smart move? What kind of thing is that? What this globalization? Why don't you teach them something else? If I were you, I'd teach them something else. Because the most developed people, you tell me Singapore people, they don't write Latin. Malaysians, Thailand people, they have their own language, they have their own history. They take only what is nutrient from Europe. They take the business part or the technology part. They don't take language from other people. Indians, they don't take this language. No, they take knowledge because they already have knowledge. They already have their written language. Not every fucking tribe who have idiotic intent like you from some kind of uh, Asian country pop out and okay, let's kill this language so that we be empowered and so will. There is no people like that, like you. You are a special species. You ethnocentric Ethiopian disease, cancer are special species. That's what I think. Eritreans once had a go. Some wrong Eritreans believed the disintegration of Ethiopia and stability because they were angry at leaders of whatever. They have that move. But now they know. In the long run, they didn't see. But now they saw this 30, 40 years, how things unfold. They are now on the point like the first time we see Eritrean people in London coming out and demonstrating one Ethiopia, one Eritrea. They never say one Ethiopia, they don't never give a fuck. They only talk about themselves, we are independent, goodbye, was the story. But now you see Eritreans in Europe coming out, one Ethiopia. No ethno, blah, blah, crazy story. You see? Thank you. We prove who we are. We don't even talk. We let you talk. We let you take your course, take your time. We saw you. We just said we saw you. You go crazy, rebellion, blah, blah story. Okay, now you are where you are. Dead end. So you sons of bitches, you can never be wise people like us. I don't think it's a DNA difference that we are special people, but people like me, when I say this, is a self pride, but that self pride is like, look, look the result of who you are, because you are not a rebellious group for 40 years, 50 years. No, when TPLF came in 1983, you were given Nagaso Gidada a right constitution. And they think, okay, we will silence Europeans, bring the sweetest human international value on constitution. Okay, where are you now? You are eating each other like fuck. The way you murder people is not even biblical story. The worst biblical stories in the story of Pharaoh is not written there. In 2021, the way you kill people is not being told by Western media. No. Tigray genocide, 4 years old, they raped 4 years old. I mean, who would believe? Who would believe? One thing I believe is this: in Tigray there may be atrocities. I know for sure there will be atrocities in any war. There may be. It should be condemned. One thing, for example, that I know 100% it didn't happen is that there won't be an Ethiopian soldier, an Eritrean soldier, or Amhara militia that can rape a 4 years old girl because he's angry of TPLF. If a woman have the audacity to claim like this, she herself, if she go to the mile to even think about raping a 4 years old girl, which is a toddler, that is a sick shit. This bitch, you know, she's a sick bitch. Probably if they show me now, if they show me a 4 years old Tigrayan girl getting raped, or by Eritrean soldier, or by Ethiopian soldier, or by Amhara militia, like they claim. But these three things are told for demography. That's why they were sending rocket. When I say this, it's not, I'm not in, like I'm not in support of Abiy Ahmed. I want this guy to die. I hate him. I want to get killed like Samuel Doe because he's part of that fucking rotten thing. It's not that. It's just because I come from their country. I know what kind of atrocities, what kind of killing they could do, what kind of without impunity shooting, in the villages they could do. I can understand. When a woman is Ethiopian, because I know what Ethiopian women are, I know who they are. In any age, I understand them. I know them. If a woman have the audacity to come on TV and say 4 years old girls, Tigrayan girls get raped by Eritrean, Tigrinya speaking Eritrean soldier, I don't believe. It's not true. Amhara Minisha, I don't believe. If you tell me killing, for example, when a Tigrian civilian use, they caught them, there will be people who say, no, they're just putting civilian clothes. These sons of bitches, they will shoot us back again anyway. They could do such kind of impunity, ruthless killing, which is amount to war crime to me. And that war crime should be condemned by Ethiopian constitution or international thing concerning those people. Like when WikiLeaks come out with American soldiers shooting civilians in Iraq, it come out as secret, and these people are, uh, you know, go, condemned, and they'll be paying the price for what they have done, kind of thing, because there is a universal accepted story. I can understand. A rape of a grown-up woman or whatever, I can accept. Not the extreme of the thing, because that extreme is just to grab the attention of media. But if you have the audacity to put that that is beyond your ability to comprehend in your culture and how we are brought up to be who we are, then I question this story. I question this story that this bitch, when they are in power, she and her kind have no regret even to do this monstrous thing to other people, because in Ethiopia saying and doing is almost the same. You cannot say that. So I know these people, what is important for them is their political agenda than the actual victims of the country. Because how dare, after they become even 30 years in power, how they let Tigrayan people, how they don't predict that Tigrayan people will ever be in such situation again, after what they have seen in these 60, 70 years. Such cruel people who gamble on the life of their people, I cannot trust. Any people who's connected with TPLF, it don't matter if it's 90% of the Tigrayan people, then it's their lot, it's destiny. I don't care. Because when you lie for media, then you are destroying the bridges, that you need someday to cross. That's what you're doing with a lie. Like me, I don't believe if anybody tell me a Tigrayan guy come in Amhara region and he raped a 4 years old girl. I don't believe that. There are some kind of exaggerated narration they see. But what we saw, there is a gruesome kind of killing we saw. For example, by the Oromo weaponed people, a pregnant woman cut open and a child get killed. This shit they do because it's on the screen. killing without impunity with this furious, ferocious, wild anger kind of thing, which a human being cannot tolerate in this time of age. But certain kind of things, I'm not exaggerating rape as it is the beginning of human history in of rape. I'm not talking about that. But the and how far they go when they put it, then you know they're fucking propagandists. And if she dare to say that, this bitch, she won't compromise to do that if she's in power. You know, because I don't believe in million years they can rob people, they can kill people, they can respect older people, but fucking infants, blah blah, is not true story. It's not true story. So the whole circle show me how this who these people are, who these people are, and I hate this kind of people, and they are cancers, and they have to be taken care of in Europe. Everywhere they are, they have to be taken care of. They really have to be taken care of because they always making wars that people don't get together. They don't come together. That they don't heal. The wound don't heal. They only make they scratch wounds and they only make things worse than bloody. These ethnocentric people. On purpose, they were educated in higher places. On purpose, with silence for 20 years, they were making them. They were hiring such kind of people to pop out in media. They use you and they'll fucking throw you out someday. They don't give. There will time and come. They don't give a fuck about Ethiopia, Tigray. They don't give a fuck. What they want, other globalist people, when one resource is depleted, the other one to optimize for eternal profit of them. The way the globalists see the world you live in, and the way you understand about country, what you call Hagar, is different. That is what you don't understand. Whether you are divided or you put yourself in a consumable portion, you call ethnocentric politics, is preparing yourself for consumable portion for globalist agenda. And some kind of elite from that kind of ethnic or a small country will prosper on the way. That's always what you are facilitating, ethnocentric people. That's the only thing you are capable of. Nothing else. But oligarchs, oil companies, people who want minerals, you know, when every time you see iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone 12, it's gonna go to iPhone 50,000. Is a company that got shit in stock exchange, that they have reputation, is a trademark. What do you think they get the raw material from? What do you think? Everywhere is a scramble for resources. So your story is not important for them. Whether you prepare a small country for them, okay. Then they put a die. If you say, okay, I have a big country and unity is okay, maybe their concern is okay. Maybe I have to need 5 cents because then I'm encountering such kind of muscle. Yeah, it will be messy for me. Sometimes they need the mess also to take things easy. You know? Okay. So instead of me paying 5 cents, I pay 1 cent to this idiot. And it's easy even to make infrastructures, blah blah. That's why you see small places, in conflict of other big issues, they make it like Singapore, like Thailand. They spend on that, and people will be really convinced. Look, a democratic, capitalistic kind of side. When you choose, you will prosper. You see Singapore, you see Thailand. That's how they show you. Why? There is another bigger monster that's forming that may be a competitor. And you are part of that global game. You are nothing but that. Sons of bitches. Who are you think you are like, we, these people, that people? No. It's not true. When Eritrea say, Eritrea, what these people are looking at is the sea, Red Sea. Because they don't see Red Sea like yours. The way Eritrean nationalists see the Red Sea like it belongs to them, it's not the futuristic globalist think. That's not what they think. They think it is some kind of monkeys who are there, but they have interest there. Oil companies will dig that fucking place one by one, step by step. It is economically being managed. Now Saudi Arabia and then this, and it's a step by step. These are interest places and groups. They take care of the coral reef, in protectionist, blah blah. And these companies, the companies, the way they see Red Sea, the Somalians, the way they see Red Sea, and the globalists is different. That's why when you make conflict like Kenya and Somalia, they fight. They see there is oil. They know it's about interest groups, even within the country. But the big people, they only care like who gonna eat that fucking dime. Who gonna eat that dime that we gonna throw on their fucking face. That's their concern. So when you're smart politicians, you have to have that caliber of understanding of men. We have a bigger kind of people to face than by each other. When that fucking dime is thrown, who gonna eat it? It do worth it. That dime will come whether you are unified, you don't unified, it will come. But when it comes, at least why don't you be peaceful and human to to have a unified kind of place that you will have a more negotiating kind of thing that you be somebody someday. Why don't you think like that? you know if you want small balkanized country, and that is the way, and every small country will prosper, and every identity, one identity, Amara speaking Amara people, the Republic of Amara, the Republic of Tigray, without conflict. If you think it ends up, because this constitution is already formed, then do that without killing each other, and every disputed land, historical things. Okay, this belongs to me. Make your balkanized fucking place, and then you see what will happen to you fucking ass. And if you think that's the way, do it. Come on the table and say, okay, this is a Republic of Tigray, like a Republic of Eritrea. This is a Republic of Amhara. This or this. And you have Oromoma who want to swallow everything, who say, okay, Matama is mine, Gondar is mine. Go. I don't know how far you can go with this story. But this is the epic, your orgasm is that. Then go about your fucking orgasm and you see the consequence, and you already saw spaces and places. So, how I almost talk about 3 hours without stop. So look at yourself with this perspective, and if I am wrong and I miscalculate things and I understand things weird, give me comment. From any schooling you have, come. That's not right for me. This is a fucking YouTube street. Tell me this is wrong, this is not that wrong, this is gonna happen. Tell me. You'll be in a fucking endless war while other people gonna loot you, disrespect you. You be refugees wherever you land at the bottom of society. You be dirty bitch. I wish I come and burn your fucking villa in Baltimore and put a fucking sharp bamboo in your rectum, conquer bitch. Dirty bitch.